Let's now look at precisely what it looks like on the ground to do integral human development in the community. How do you go about building trusting relationships? And how do you move from relationship to cooperative action?
One-on-one meetings, this is me doing meetings. Meetings with community groups, informal opportunities, and prayer. And don't underestimate prayer. You know, prayer is the thing that binds us together probably the most strongly in the end. And we should be praying for each other. And this is how we should start. You know, not with the $10,000 check.
Build on community assets. Start with community priorities. What assets are required for success? How can these assets be accessed? What assets do the community group possess, and how can they best utilize them? What other community groups or outside groups exist, and what can they share with us? What additional outside help is required, and what does it consist of? Once strong and trusting relationships have been built, the hopes and dreams of the community will resurface. The local or regional community can identify their assets. The community members can establish their own priorities. Together with the missioner, they can identify other community groups and potential outside temporary help to build the capacity of the local people to overcome their obstacles and achieve their dreams. Sustainable development is development that includes looking into the future. It meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. There have been numerous well-intended projects done by development groups around the world that have failed after the donor group leaves or the donor funding ends. To ensure integral human development is sustainable, a key set of questions must be asked. Will the impact continue if the external funding stops? Does it get to the root cause? If it doesn't, then they're still dependent. Are the communities taking the lead? That's a major issue with many aid programs. The communities are not in the lead and so don't own them. Does it reduce dependency on external support? If not, then you may do more harm than good. Let us now take a look at an example of doing a water project in a less sustainable way compared to a more sustainable way.
You know, the world is littered with failed water projects that are unsustainable. And it's because people come in and say, you know, especially medical missions, this happens a lot, where doctors come in and say people are dying of things that could be prevented if they had clean water. Let's bring in buckets with filters. Usually it's household bucket systems. Sometimes it's some other kind of water system. And they come in and they try to fix the water problem. And the difficulty is they're not talking to the local water authority.
When projects are done without utilizing local programs and expertise, they are vulnerable to creating dependency. For example, if technology, equipment, and parts are brought in from the outside, it becomes virtually impossible for that equipment and those parts to be replaced without bringing in a repair person from the outside as well. Often, the community does not feel like they own the project and therefore may not feel that they are really in charge of it. A water project done using sustainable IHD methodology is done very differently, as stated by Catholic Relief Services Kim Lamberty.
A water project is done very differently. It's community-based. What you want is for the community to be bought in from the very beginning. You have meetings, you work with the water authority, you find out what the water authority has plans to do for water in that area, and perhaps your investment could be in resourcing the water authority so the water authority can do what it already wanted to do. So the bottom line is collaboration so that you don't have people doing these siloed projects that are unsustainable.